hey, so I've got something I need to complain about real quick and just kind of talk about as well. And it's communication, just like in general, especially like on the internet, on comment sections and whatnot. Now, I'm going to like preface this and say, like, naturally, I've kind of always been pretty good at communicating, and I just think that language is extremely interesting, especially like the English language and like all the different variations, especially like slang and all that stuff that you can use to say the same thing, but there's like a whole bunch of different versions of it. It's cool. But also, I've just naturally been pretty good at communicating. I'm not always the best at listening, something I'm working on, but usually I can say what I mean pretty well. Especially with modern technology, we have the internet, and like if you're in a comment section, especially here on YouTube, you can stop for a minute and think about what you want to say and then type it out. You don't have to do all this stuff mid conversation, so it's way easier, right? Um, the reason I point that out is because I was recently been in a conversation with a dude. I'm sure this happens all the time, where he was saying something, sharing some bit of information, but also a lot of the stuff he came across said. A lot of the things he said came across like he was being kind of an ignorant dick, and I was like, me and a couple other people commenting the same thing, where we're like, hey, dude, what are you talking about? Like, do you not realize how dumb this sounds right now? And of course, he comes on there and was like, this attitude of like, oh, I wouldn't expect you to get it, like being really pretentious about it, and the thing is like I pointed that out. I was like, dude, why do you sound like you're on some sort of a high horse here? You realize what you're saying like is not, you're not communicating yourself clearly. So being pissed off and saying like, of course I wouldn't expect you to get it, is like, it's crazy to me how what's the word I would use? It's crazy to me how like obtuse you're being about this. The fact that if a few people here are clearly not understanding what you're saying, and kind of pointed out that you sound like you're kind of being a douche, and you're blaming everybody else. And I'm sure this kind of thing happens all the time. It's like, dude, just learn how to communicate yourself clearly the first time, and then not get mad when people don't get it. Like, what, are you dumb? Like, how pretentious can one be? Because it's like, if a couple people are telling you that, like, you sound like you're the issue, and you can't even look back at your comments and be like, hey, maybe what I did say came across pretty off color in this sense. You know what I mean? Like, just communicate clearly. It's not that hard. It's really not if you work on it. Like, it takes some work and it takes some time, but once you kind of figure it out, because communication is one of the things that we, as humans have to do all the time. It's like, just do it decently the first time. It's especially easy through things like comment sections because, like I mentioned, you can take an extra minute and think about what you're saying and then type it out in a more concise way. And then what you're saying will be communicated clearly and you don't sound like a dick. And then you won't have to like backtrack and be like, that's not what I meant, because you said what you meant the first time.